What does herpes really mean to you? Is it shame, embarrassment, feeling unworthy, or believing that you'll never be loved again? Because here's the truth. The way that you feel about herpes comes down to one major thing: the meaning you're giving it. And the moment that you stop buying into the narrative, you can choose how you want to live your life moving forward and overcome the stigma. Hi, I'm Dupree, and I help people to navigate life with herpes. And before we dive in, I want to start off by saying that changing the way you see yourself and herpes doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and it takes practice. And most of all, it takes the willingness to see past the stigma. And part of that is looking at the beliefs that you're holding on to about it. I know because I felt all of those things too. I literally believed all the stories that were told about herpes, that were damaged goods, that no one would ever want to be with us again, and believing that our lives are basically over. And all of those beliefs, trust me when I tell you, they couldn't be further from the truth. So today, I'm going to talk about how you can ditch the stigma by becoming aware of the stories you've told yourself, accepting your feelings without letting them control you, then making a conscious choice every single day of exactly how you want to experience your life. So let's talk about 4 things that can help you to overcome the stigma. But before I do, I want to touch on something. I bet you feel that now that you've been diagnosed with herpes, your life is different or has changed somehow. And there is some truth to that. Because when you get a herpes diagnosis, it can feel like the old you doesn't exist anymore, like a part of you died somehow, and now you're being forced to kind of start over, right? You're dealing with emotions you've never had to face before. And now that herpes is in the picture, you start asking yourself questions like, how do I move on from here? What will my future look like now that I have herpes? And this isn't just for people who are newly diagnosed. Even if you've had herpes for years, you still might feel this way. The fear of the unknown never fully disappears. The fear of judgment, the fear that someone won't want you because of herpes. I mean, those fears are real, and at times they feel never ending. But here's the key. It's not the diagnosis that defines you. It's what you do with the judgment, the rejection, and the way you see yourself that truly makes all the difference. And that's where awareness, courage, acceptance, and choice come in. Because learning how to use these 4 things can help you to overcome the stigma and help you to see yourself and your condition differently, not as something to fear, not as something to be ashamed of, but as something that's just a part of who you are. It doesn't define you. It doesn't get to make choices for you. When you learn how to move through awareness, courage, acceptance, and choice, you free yourself from the limiting beliefs that have been weighing you down, which can help you to move forward with your life. So first, let's talk about awareness. Awareness means paying attention to the old stories that you keep telling yourself, the ones that creep in when you think about dating, when an outbreak shows up, or when you imagine telling someone. I'm sure you've heard the saying, thoughts become things, right? Well, the same thing goes when it comes to herpes. Whatever you give your attention to shapes how you see yourself, your reality, and how you move through life. If all of your attention is on the limiting beliefs that stigma feeds you, such as, I'm damaged goods, no one will ever want to be with me, my life is over, then the reality you'll keep living over and over again is just that, because that's what you'll literally attract into your life when you believe it to be true. The more energy that you give these thoughts, the more real they feel and become. That's why awareness matters. So, What does awareness look like? It's catching those thoughts when they show up and reminding yourself that's not the truth. It's just the story you've been led to believe. Then you shift your attention to intention. You choose the direction you want your thoughts to go. So instead of saying to yourself, no one will want to be with me, you tell yourself, I am worthy of love, or my life is not defined by herpes. And it's not just about setting the intention, it's about truly believing that what you're telling yourself is real. That's awareness. It's noticing the story and calling it what it is and choosing to believe a new one. Next, I want to talk about courage. And if any of you are familiar with Dr. David Hawkins' scale of consciousness, you know that courage is literally the tipping point. Everything below it, shame, guilt, fear, anger, and even pride keeps you stuck and keeps you feeling like herpes defines you. Courage is the line that you cross that changes everything. It's literally the line between being a victim of your circumstances and becoming the creator of your life. Now, I want to be clear. Courage doesn't mean you stop feeling scared. It means you feel the fear and you move forward anyway. Courage is looking at the fear of rejection and saying, I see you, but you don't get to stop me. Courage is feeling the shame and still showing up. It's doing the things you're scared of, talking to someone, going on a date, having the conversation. And here's where a lot of people don't get it. Confidence doesn't come first. Courage does. Confidence is what shows up after you've taken the steps you were afraid to take. And every time you act with courage, you build the confidence that follows. Every time you show up with courage, you chip away at those old beliefs. You expand what you believe is possible for yourself. And you start proving to yourself that herpes doesn't control your future anymore. That's why courage matters. It's the bridge between awareness and acceptance. Without courage, you stay stuck in the old story. With courage, you start rewriting it. Now, let's talk about acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to like having herpes. I mean, no one does, right? And it doesn't mean that you're happy about it or that you'd ever wish you had it. Acceptance means you stop fighting reality. Because the more that you fight it, the more power it has over you. You've probably heard the saying, what you resist persists. And that's exactly how this works. When you're constantly trying to push herpes away, pretending it doesn't exist or beating yourself up for having it, you are actually keeping it in front and center of your life. Acceptance is saying, yes, this is a part of my life, but it doesn't get to define me. It doesn't control me. And it doesn't get to decide my worth. Acceptance is not giving up. It's not settling. It's actually taking your power back, because once you accept your condition, you stop wasting energy on the fight and you free up that energy to actually go live your life. That's when you can move forward, and that's when you realize herpes is only as big as the meaning you give it. Now, finally, let's talk about choice. At the end of the day, everything comes down to the choices you ultimately make. You can choose to keep replaying the same story over and over in your head, or you can choose to write a new one. Choice is where you take back control, because no one else gets to decide how you see yourself. Not the stigma, not a doctor, not a partner, not society. You do. Every time you catch yourself slipping back into self-doubt, you have a choice to either keep beating yourself up or to finally give yourself grace. Every time you feel fear creep in about dating or intimacy, you have a choice to shut down and hide or to take a step forward anyway. Every time you wonder if you're worthy of love, you have a choice to believe the lie that you're not enough or to finally believe the truth that you are. And the final choice is this. Do you let herpes decide your life for you, or you decide how you want to live? Because when you choose differently again and again, those new choices start to build a new reality. So here's what it all comes down to. Awareness shows you the story. Courage gives you the strength to face it. Acceptance frees you from the fight. And choice is what creates the life you actually want. Well, that's all I have for today. If you liked today's episode, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, I want to invite you to join our free online community by downloading the Herpes Wellness app. There, you'll have free access to our forums where you can ask questions, seek advice, and help other members along their journeys. And for a limited time, for anyone who signs up for the free support membership, we're going to upgrade you to the Connection membership, which includes access to a whole bunch of super cool features, like a listing in our member directory and member search, direct messaging with other members, a group and love connection chat lounge, member-led events, both virtual and in person, plus monthly live streams with me, where we talk about everything herpes. Now, normally this membership is $19 a month, but you'll get this access for free for as long as you remain a member. And if you're wondering about privacy, we've got you totally covered. The app icon and push notifications say H Wellness. So if someone happens to see your screen, you won't disclose your status unintentionally. So be sure to join us at Herpes Wellness. The link to download the app for both the App Store and Google Play is in the description box below. And if there are any herpes topics you'd like for me to discuss on the show, please leave it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you the next time on the Herpes Wellness Podcast. Bye for now.